I mean, before I started up, yes.
So it's more chill, but you still gotta get your credit to make up for the failures.
Before I started, yes, I did see some of it, but what he was talking about was, you feel me, summer school and stuff. Like, he went through it, and you see how he became, you feel me? He doing good in life. So don't think summer school is just going to make it seem like you're just going to be a failure for the whole rest of your life. Like, if you hit that hard work and dedication, it's just something you really want to do, then, you feel me, it's going to work out. Yeah, I know I'm just like a beginner, basically, because I only been on this for like a year. People probably gonna be like, "Oh yeah, you ain't like this person and that person," like, cause I ain't blown up as fast as other people. But we all succeed, or like during our own time limit. You feel me? So it's like, just cause it's majority of people who blowing up faster from a couple videos don't mean I'm gonna have the same way. Cause you feel me? I don't know how they got so much popularity. I guess cause back in the day, like, YouTube wasn't all of that. So like, it was YouTubers who big now, like Flight. They were the only good YouTubers out there. So since it's good YouTubers out there, nobody really want to see me because I'm not. You feel me? I should have started earlier, basically. Like, if I started around 2016, then who knows? 2017, if I never gave up to 2017 and deleted all my stuff, I probably would have had more popularity. I had 30 subscribers back in 2017. And I just got rid of that channel because, for me, I was a kid. I was 12, man. And I didn't think it would work out. And now I always regret that every day. Like, I should have just kept the channel. But hey, I mean, all I'm going to say is, don't let what somebody else says about you or how somebody else said how you are as a person to be how you are in the future. You feel me? Like, they try to make it seem like you like you know how the schools be, like, they try to make it seem like you're not that smart because you don't know this and that. Like, not everybody gonna know everything. You're gonna not know a couple things when you go to school. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, let's start this.
All right. So how's your iPhone?
Bro, nobody trying to watch this. Hey. Nobody's trying to.
Your wagers, your pagers. You know what I'm saying? The administrator watches through. Because I'm not the one that gets dinged. Word, it's you. Check it out.
The infamous diabolical master manipulator and maniac responsible for instigating the murders of 7 people was known particularly for his demonic stare and for almost never blinking during a conversation.
No fucking way.
This blinkless stare chilled his interlocutors. Thankfully, this irredeemable reprobate finally passed away last year. But what if, in some cosmic quirk of fate, you somehow end up in the world's ultimate end-all staring contest with this psychopath? And determined starer that you are, and dead set on winning this contest of will against this evil bastard, let's say you don't close your eyes for 30 days. What would this lead to? Might you become a bloodthirsty criminal like Mr. Manson? Could you lose your mind? At the very least, won't you cause some kind of irreversible trauma to your
Is this an ad?
eyes? As previously mentioned, Mr. Manson has departed this earthly coil. It is likely burning in some nether hell somewhere, so we can't ask for his unblinking stare advice.
I never even knew who this guy was.
Before we condemn our eyeballs to such a torment, let's see why blinking occurs in the first place. Our eyelids close quite often, approximately.
How many times am I blinking this video? Comment down.
15 to 20 times a minute. This
Nobody finna do all of that. Nobody finna comment how many times he blink each year. My bad, y'all. I had to fix the quality.
This is an amazing, roughly 28,800 times a day.
28,000 times I blink a day, bro. How do you notice?
Our eyes.
Bro, imagine a person that's literally sat there and like counted the amount of times somebody blinked. Bro, you better have paid them like $1 gazillion up front. Bro.
He said gazillion.
That is
protect them from foreign invaders.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Dust, a finger of a passerby poking you in the pupil, or a bright light emanating from the sun, or a high-watt flashlight. But according to scientists, to perform its protective functions, the eyes shouldn't have to blink so often. So then, just why the heck do our eyes blink so much? First, let's talk about another activity the eye engages in, something you probably never even thought about before. It's important for us to have clear vision, a sharp eye in order to gather information about the world around us. At the core of our ability to see lies something called saccades. This is not an actual physical thing, but rather an action. It's the tiny, swift, synchronous, almost never-ending movement of our eyes.
Yo, y'all know how crazy that is? Like, to even know all of this information. Like, y'all know they had to study all of this. Like, he was right. Like, they probably sat there and, like, just watched somebody blink. Like, just monitored. Yeah, they better be getting paid a lot. Like, I wouldn't just count a person on how many times they blink every day, not expect at least the most amount of money y'all got to offer me. You feel me? No, like it can't be nowhere below like 900 mil. I don't care, because that takes a lot of work to like just sit there and do that in a lot of time. Like, nobody finna do all of that. And they probably didn't even get paid that much, which is the crazy thing. But hey, I hope they did.
Wow, this helps our brain build up a 3D image of the world around us. Why, you might ask, don't we visually notice this constant movement? Why do we see a smooth image instead of chunks when scanning something? Why don't we see the in-between spaces? And why is our vision blurred when moving from one place to the next? We'll answer this all in a moment. Nice. Blinking is another eye action that most people never even give a passing thought to. When we blink, even though we are momentarily cutting off our view of the world, the light does not appear to diminish. It doesn't even seem to flicker. And the overall image doesn't change in terms of brightness or sharpness. Why does everything appear to remain exactly the same as it was before we momentarily closed our eyes? The answer in both situations is because a critical part of our brain turns off when we blink, or when our eyes move during saccades. This hides the darkness of a blink or movement of a saccade from our visual system. By the way,
Bruh, yo, this is like a little, this is a lot. Like, you feel me? This feeling like a whole documentary, yo. Dang. It's like you learn everything. You know, you learn new things every day type stuff. You feel me? Like, all this information they got about not blinking and stuff. Like, it's just crazy to me to see how much knowledge they know on it. Like, you feel me? That's just crazy. That's why.
by the way, saccades and blink are very fast. Did I say fast? I mean real fast. Saccades are in fact the fastest movements performed by the human body. though blinks achieve a higher peak speed. When blinking, the eye closes for just 0.3 of a second. Even the fastest Bugatti in the world would envy such speed. Anyway, if the eye moves at such a speed, you might think we wouldn't be able to clearly perceive the world around us. As an example, try to feel your hand while shaking it in front of you. It will look blurry. But
it does.
This is when our eyes move. As I mentioned before, this is where your brain comes into play. When the eye moves and the saccade occurs, our brain turns off our sight for a micro moment. And when the saccade finishes and the eye comes to a stop, we begin to see again, as if nothing had ever happened. We literally go blind over and over and over again, all day, every day, thousands and thousands of times.
That's wild.
A similar thing happens when we blink, but no one remembers these moments.
Time to scout.
Let me see what would happen if I set it to the high. What the heck? Why is it acting like that? Like, I'm watching that. I'm gonna set it at. Maybe that's asking for too much. Yeah, I think that was asking for too much. The HP that high. I'm gonna set it down to like 720 maybe. I feel like it seems faster this one. But if I really wanted it to work, then that would mean why is it acting like that?
That's wild.
A similar thing happens when we blink, but no one remembers these moments. We call it sleight of mind.
Sleight of
Our
mind.
brain hides these movements or blinks from us, smoothing together the before and after images, as if nothing had ever happened. Simply put, our brains deceive us, but for our own good. At the Berkeley campus of the University of California, researchers did a really cool experiment when investigating this refocusing or reframing that the brain does. Test subjects were placed into a dark room, and a white dot was projected onto the wall in front of them. Then, precisely at the moment of a blink, when the participants' eyes were closed, the white dot was shifted ever so slightly to the side. After their blink finished, the group of subjects automatically moved their focus to the new location. The researchers continued to move the white point for a total of 35 blinks. Surprisingly, none of the participants ever noticed any changes in the dot's position, even after the 35th time. Researcher Baptiste Caziot explained this by stating that we have a system in our head specially evolved to convince us that no displacement during a blink has occurred, and most of the time this is true, but not always, as the experiment showed. You can check this yourself right now by performing the following experiment.
Really?
Start a stopwatch and remember the number of seconds. Then look away and quickly back again at the watch. You'll see that the number of seconds has remained the same. Congratulations, you've witnessed the work of your subjective visual system.
I did that with
Your
your cameras
brain
off.
is a magician, but it only manages to pull off these tricks because saccades and blinking are only unconscious or semi-conscious processes. So what if we stretch ourselves and try to put our blinking under conscious control? There are several people in the world for whom not blinking for a mere 30 seconds is the easiest thing ever. The first ever record holder is an Australian named Fergal Fleming.
Okay.
Who was later nicknamed the eyesore. He lasted an astounding 40 minutes and 59 seconds without blinking. But in 2015, a sailor in the Chinese Navy managed to stand with his eyes open for 57 minutes and 24 seconds. That is, according to the South China Morning Post. At first, due to an eye infection, the Chinese mariner could not even stand 40 seconds with his eyelids open. However, he trained hard, day and night, for a month straight. He stood in the wind on deck or looked into the bright sky, all without blinking.
Interesting.
And now this guy isn't just a regular sailor, but the king of the peepers, the staring champion of the world. So what's the trick? Apparently, there exists not just a physical reason, but also a psychological reason for blinking. Japanese scientists have put forward a fairly strong hypothesis. Subconsciously, we begin to blink when we need a mental rest. So for a short time, our entire visual stimulus system is turned off, allowing us to take a micro breather. To further investigate this theory, a group of 10 people were examined in an MRI machine. Oddly enough, during the test, they watched the fantastic and lovable Mr. Bean. The final analysis
I remember that
when
movie.
the viewers blinked, their
Mr. Bean was
activity increased for a short time in areas related to the brain's passive, not active mode. For a split second, we seem to be transported to our own personal secluded island, a place where we can reboot ourselves a tiny bit, allowing us to deal with the impending ocean of incoming fresh visual stimuli with renewed vigor. Some of us need this kind of mini rest a little more, and some of us a little less. That's why some of us blink more or less frequently than others. 15 years ago, it seemed as if...
Yeah, 15 years ago, I was one. But, yo, y'all ever think like, or is this just me? You close your eyes. When I close your eyes, well, yeah, you go to sleep and then wake up in a whole nother body, like in a whole nother world, like how they do when the people in the crazy asylum. Cause I remember this one spooky, scary story on YouTube. The dude went to sleep thinking he was having a normal day, and then at the end, it showed him just in a crazy, crazy homeless asylum, and he was just rocking back and forth. But or he was just laying in bed. I forgot, but it's like it kept replaying in his head, which means like I was like, what if that's how we think? Like, what if how we feel? Like, how does we're in that one episode from Rick and Morty, where Morty was just in that body, like y'all gotta think in time traveling. Like y'all gotta think about like the time that was spent for the people who actually went into them situations. Like it's like, dang, bro. To us, it's like, oh no, that was just fast. But to them, it's like I spent my whole life. I basically grew up there. You feel me? It's like a cycle, but at the same time, it is just a show, so we don't really know. All I could do is say like that. I don't know about the crazy asylum, dude. Like crazy home asylum. I forgot what it's called, but I don't know about him though. Like that would be crazy if that was like real, okay? Like, but I doubt it though. I highly doubt it. Feel me?
Everybody and their brother was trying to unveil the secret of a single pair of eyes. In 2004, there was a rumor in the USA regarding a man who supposedly almost never blinked his eyes. This speculation...
I remember that cover from Fabulous House.
Army General
Cole Summer
Clark. He was that year participating in the primary race for the U.S. Democratic Party presidential nomination. And so he was on TV a lot. Real discussion broke out around his candidacy, the reason of which was the burning question, why doesn't this guy blink? According to rough calculations, Clark blinks only between 2 to 4 times a minute, or about once every 15 to 30 seconds. And let me remind you that the average person blinks every 2 to 3 seconds. So this was really strange. In fact, the difference is rather astonishing. Behavioral analyst Lillian Glass shared her observation that people who rarely blink and have a cold, steady stare.
Okay, this is big. Range Shadow Legends made me a champion.
Bro.
And everyone can get it. Me? Him? Anyways, here's how it happened.
Are often liars, or at least
What?
2 to 3 seconds. So this was really strange. In fact, the difference is rather astonishing. Behavioral analyst Lillian Glass shared her observation that people who rarely blink and have a cold, steady stare are often liars, or at least this is a technique that practiced liars use. But does General Clark always lie? This is by no means the truth. Just because liars stare doesn't mean all starers lie. The director of the U.S.-based Center for Nonverbal Studies, who is also an anthropologist, one David Givens, managed to finally solve the mystery of Wesley Clark's nearly unblinking eyes. The fact is, he says General Clark's autonomic nervous system operates at a lower level or frequency than that of most other people. In contrast to the record holders, Clark's rare blinking is more a congenital feature rather than an acquired skill. Nevertheless, both cases confirm the ability of a human being not necessarily having to blink for quite a long time. But could we manage a whole 30 days without blinking? There's a disease called leiophthalmos, where a person is not able to close their eyes completely, or in the worst cases, at all. The facial nerves in sufferers of this ailment don't work as well as in others, and therefore they are not able to convey the correct signals from the brain that normally command the eyelids to close. They could actually accomplish this task, but what about a completely conscious and voluntary decision to keep one's eyes open? At first, it might seem to you that this is quite doable, and that you would only suffer some kind of minor fatigue. But if you try, then you will see the strain will increase in strength, growing ever greater as time
Bro, I don't
goes
know
by.
how you do that. It's looking creepy. Stop zooming in, please.
Necessity to close your eyelids
Maybe a
will
flight, man.
increase
So let's
to an
reach.
unbearable
Second.
level. Your eyes will start to burn, and then suddenly fill with tears over and over again. Soon, the entire struggle of just not blinking will become an intolerable and unendurable nightmare. If you try to continue this for a month, your corneas would dry up. The lens would become dim, losing all focus and sharpness. Your eyesight would
That's what I thought, bro. Like, you're just like gonna get dry.
endurable nightmare. If you try to continue this for a month,
You wouldn't even be
your
able to
corneas
go for
will
a
dry
month.
up. The lens will
Like a
become dim,
reptile.
losing all focus and sharpness. Your eyesight would begin to fade like a wilting flower under the hot desert sun.
Ugh.
The gray veil of cataracts would envelop your eyes, after which would come an irreversible blindness.
Yes.
I think after hearing this, you're probably going to blink more often.
How many times I played this video?
That's the smart, safe thing to do. Because if you go blind, you can't watch riddle. And if you like the video, quick, give it a
Hey man, this
thumbs
is man.
up.
Come on, let's rest it. For a minute.
This dude crazy. Alright, here we go. But yeah, yo, you feel me?
Introducing the all-new Vault from Untitled Chapter. It's what's inside that inspires. Hit for the goal. Motivate. Pushes.
Yo, that was like such a crazy video, you feel me? I didn't know you would go blind for not blinking for 30 days. Like that's crazy, bro. That is crazy. Imagine doing that though. Like that's why like people shouldn't do like experiments with stuff like, you know, tricks and stuff. Like y'all know how Supreme Patty poured lemons in his eyes and stuff. He shouldn't do that. You feel me? Like people be doing all this crazy stuff that just be affecting their body. And that could really hurt in the worst way. Yeah. So for real, like people just need to chill. Yeah, bro. Chill out. Why my hair? Why I look like that with my hair like this? I'm like, yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It's good. I look like I surf. Look like I surf, bro. But yeah, y'all, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hopefully they don't change the title. And I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Yeah, I'm trying to get a new laptop soon. So y'all stay tuned for that.